Stop what you're doing. This is huge. Rumors are exploding across social feeds right now that Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham might be calling it quits in the WNBA. Tonight we're diving into every angle. What's actually true, what's pure rumor, why these whispers started, and what it would mean for the league, the teams, and fans worldwide. If you want calm, clear, and no-fluff coverage of this story, stay with me, because whether this ends up being a bombshell or just a storm in a teacup, you need the full picture. Let's get into it. Alright, first I'll lay out what we actually know from official sources. Then I'll break down why people are talking about leaving the WNBA, look at each player's recent situation in history, walk through the realistic reasons a top player might exit the league, and finally examine the ripple effects if this somehow turns out to be true. I'll finish with the exact next steps to watch for and what you should believe versus what to treat as speculation. Stick around to the end. I'll also share 5 potential scenarios for how this could play out. Let's be blunt. As of this moment, there is no official announcement from either player saying they are permanently leaving the WNBA. What we do have are confirmed injury updates and team statements saying both players will miss the remainder of the current season. Caitlin Clark has been ruled out for the remainder of the 2025 campaign after sustaining a groin injury and subsequent complications, and the Indiana Fever officially confirmed her season-ending status. Sophie Cunningham has also been confirmed out for the rest of the season after suffering a right knee injury. The team released an update confirming the timeline and roster moves. Now, injuries and being out for a season are not the same as leaving the WNBA. That distinction matters, and too many social posts are skipping it. Major outlets are reporting injuries and rehab plans, not franchise departures. Social media reaction speed. A combination of cryptic posts, fan speculation, and dramatic headlines a la shocking news spreads faster than clarifying statements. People often read a 10-word post and turn it into a 500-word narrative. Injury plus sponsors equals wild guesses. When a star gets hurt, fans immediately ask, will she come back? Will she play overseas? Will she retire? For a player like Caitlin Clark, who already has massive sponsorships and global attention, the jump from injury to leaving is an easy jump for click-hungry pages. Off-season habits and prior examples. Many WNBA stars spend off-seasons abroad or pursue other leagues and projects. Comments about overseas contracts or new opportunities can be misread as leaving instead of playing elsewhere in the off-season. Union negotiations and league uncertainty. With the CBA and pay talks hovering over the league, some fans assume a star will exit the WNBA for money or stability, even when no one has said that publicly. None of those reasons mean the rumor is true. They just explain why people are talking. Caitlin Clark, she's the face of the moment, a generational talent who changed college basketball and arrived in the WNBA with enormous expectations. Her rookie and sophomore seasons turned TV numbers and ticket sales up across the league. Losing Caitlin, temporarily or permanently, would be massive for the Fever and for WNBA ratings, branding, and sponsorship narrative. Multiple outlets have covered her season-ending injury and her social posts about missing the game. Sophie Cunningham, a respected veteran guard known for toughness, defense, and timely shooting. She's been a key rotation piece and leader on the floor. Losing her to injury affects depth, locker room leadership, and bench reliability, but it's not the kind of headline-grabbing exit that would single-handedly crumble the entire league. Still, if both she and Clark were to depart long-term, that's a very different story. Let's be realistic and calm. Elite athletes don't usually quit for drama alone. When we see exits, there are patterns. Injury and health. Repeated injuries or the risk of long-term damage can push players to step away, at least temporarily. If recovery threatens future quality of life, some players choose rehab and retirement over a long, painful comeback. Financial choices. Many WNBA players supplement income by playing overseas where pay can be far higher. That incentive occasionally leads to a player minimizing WNBA commitments, and in rare cases, choosing overseas or alternative leagues if the financial gap becomes too large. Articles explain why overseas play remains common for WNBA stars and how pay differences influence decisions. New business or entertainment opportunities. Big sponsorship deals, media roles, or unique opportunities, like ownership stakes in new leagues, can change priorities. For someone as marketable as Caitlin Clark, this is not fantasy, it's a possible career pivot. Mental health and personal priorities. Athletes have openly stepped away before to focus on mental well-being or family. That's always a legitimate and respected reason. League labor issues. If the CBA or voting shifts force a bad scenario, lockout, pay freeze, some players might choose alternate income paths or press pause. The broader labor conversation has been front and center recently, which fuels speculation. Important note, none of the above is an admission that either Caitlin Clark or Sophie Cunningham is choosing any of these routes. These are plausible reasons in general, possible contexts to watch, not facts about these two players. Best case scenario, short-term loss, long-term gain. One or both players step away only for recovery or to pursue an off-season opportunity, then return. The league and teams take this as a prompt to improve medical, travel, and salary support. Fans rally, and the WNBA weathers a temporary ratings dip because the narrative becomes comeback season later on. Worst-case scenario, permanent exits or long-term absence. Losing a marquee star like Caitlin Clark full-time would dent broadcast ratings, sponsorship deals, and the Fever's marketability. If multiple stars exit or demand systemic changes without resolution, the league could face real short-term financial hits and media headaches, though it's unlikely to fold or disappear overnight. WNBA growth is broader than any single player, but superstars accelerate that growth fast, and their absence slows momentum. Team-level impact. Indiana Fever, immediate offensive balance problems, lower ticket demand, reworked marketing plans. The rest of the league, altered playoff projections, different all-star lineups, and a recalibration of which teams the networks push for national coverage. Again, this is hypothetical. At present, the public record shows injuries and rehab plans, not definitive exits.